Now let's get ready for the next lesson. We have prepared you for learning about verbs, the action words of a sentence. Remember, you have to have a noun and a verb to make a sentence, a proper sentence. Okay? Our verb is called our action word. There is a sentence rule. You must have a subject or a noun and a predicate or a verb in every sentence to make it a sentence. That's the rule. There are grammar rules throughout English. I haven't given you very many of those directly stated in these lessons, but I have worked through them in other ways to point you in the direction of the rules. But there are a few rules I will state that are absolutely necessary to have proper English. Now, one of the things you're going to learn about verbs is there's 3 or more ways to say a verb. Whether you're talking about whether I'm doing it right now, that's present tense, or whether I did it yesterday, that's past tense, or whether I'm going to do it tomorrow, that's future tense. So you have to know how to use a verb 3 ways. Most English learners start with the present tense, like I go to the store. That's present tense. But if you're talking about yesterday, you would say I went to the store yesterday. But if you're talking about tomorrow, I will go to the store tomorrow. So you see how go has different verb tenses? It goes from go to went for past, and to future will go. Well, you're going to see in the worksheets how this works. Once you understand this usage of the verbs, you immediately sound like a higher level speaking English speaker, which can help you to do better in an English speaking country in being understood and getting your needs met as you try to interact and verbally exchange among people who speak English. Now, there are vocabulary words to choose from on this worksheet lesson 4 in order to make your sentences. This is on page 11. I've just written some random words that I thought might help you in writing. Now, if you know any other English words, you're free to use whatever English words you know in these sentences. I just wrote these words to help you have a bank of some vocabulary words to help you write sentences. So I will read the words and I will start from the left and go across to the right. That is something that may be different in other languages. I know some languages read from right to left, but English reads from left to right on the page. And we start in the top left corner and read across and then go down the page like that. So that's how we read in English. So you have an eye search pattern where your eyes have to go across the page. Can you see my eyes moving? So your eyes literally have to move across the page while you're reading. So I'm starting from the top left and I'm going to read across. You see if you can follow along with each word. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 words in each line, except for the very first line has 3. So I'll start up here with lady, English, Thai, and then I'll go to the second line. Chinese, books, fast, slow, endlessly, often. Now we don't usually pronounce the T in often, but I do for English learners so you can spell it correctly. It's usually silent. We usually say often. But a lot of us who like good diction will say often so that people can hear the word better. Fast, swiftly, soprano, bass or bass, depending how you use that word. Tenor, alto, music, songs, sound, restlessly, Third line, well, newspapers, early, late, others, parents, daily, rarely. Next line, history, geography, law, rules, clothes, dishes, floors, windows. Next line, fruit, vegetables, meat, fish, nature, chatting, writing, swimming. Next line, soccer, school, sports, radio, games, listening, speaking, filming. Next line, happy, funny. And I got funny in there twice. Sad, scared, ready, prepared, unhappy. Now read the directions with me. Follow along, look your eyes, or put your eyes on the words. Read through the vocabulary words in this section below and say each word out loud to your study partner. That's the person sitting next to you. Then secondly, write a sentence below this section in order as numbered here. I have allowed a space on the next page for you to write your sentences. So you will go to the next page to finish this set of assignments. The underlined word is the subject, and the darkened word is the verb or predicate. Remember, the subject is a noun. Now, there may be more than one nouns in a sentence if it's a longer, more difficult sentence, but you have to figure out which noun is the one the sentence is about. Usually, it's the first noun you come to, but not always. But that's a good indicator. The sample is to show you the pattern you are to follow when you do your underlining. And in another one, I had you draw a diagonal line. I'll tell you about that here. If you want to do it, that would be good too. You may use the vocabulary words to help you write your sentences. The teacher will walk around to listen to your pronunciations of the words. Now notice that we have 3 columns. The first column is present tense, and it says, I am a lady. The next column in the middle is the past tense, and it says, I was a lady all evening. The last column, future tense, says, I will be a lady when I grow up. What you are going to do is underline the subject, and then I bolden the verb. What you can do is circle it or underline it as well, just so that you know and the teacher can tell which one you've pointed out to be the subject or the noun and the verb. Remember, the verb is the action word. It shows what the subject does, what action the subject does. Okay? For example, what movement? I am walking. I is the subject, and am walking is the action that I'm doing. I am walking. That's my